Europe in the 1870s was a place of political tension. Countries vied with one another for territory and influence. Nationalism was on the rise.
Nationalism was a movement which grew out of the Napoleonic Wars. The countries which had laboured under Napoleonic rule emerged from this period with a definite desire, with a distinct desire to have an identity of their own and to defend that identity.
For Britain, it was the great era of maps. The Ordnance Survey was mapping the nation in almost microscopic detail, while the Empire and wars in Europe made maps indispensable for understanding Britain and its place in the world.
By that time, the shapes of Europe in particular were pretty well known. I mean, the 19th century had seen a huge explosion in map availability. Papers were full of maps, books were full of maps, atlases were getting published. The base of knowledge about the shape of our lands and all the rest of it was already there.
One British mapmaker, Frederick Rose, was determined to give that knowledge a whole new twist. In 1877, he made the first of the world's mass-produced satire maps.
They impart opinion and information all at the same time, in a way that is visually very striking and quite beautiful. They are very much a product of their age. I mean, Rose was doing these maps at the zenith of the British Empire. And it just shored up the Victorian sense of who we are and our place in the world.
Entitled A Serio Comic Map of Europe for the year 1877, Rose's map captures a moment of anxiety for Europe. The so-called Eastern Question, the fear of Russia, pictured as a giant octopus. The map was meant to inform, to entertain, and to shock. And it still does.
We know exactly how people responded to it visually because people are continuing to respond to it visually. There's the case of the Russian academic recently who was incandescent with rage at the fact that it had been reproduced because he felt that the use of an octopus to portray his country was a monstrous distortion of the true nature of his country. This map has been insulting people and amusing people in equal measure for the last 130 years.
The tentacles of the Russian octopus stretch out over much of the continent with an alarming and malign reach.